Divine Connections magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.
Great day, everyone. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections Magazine. We are a magazine that comes out quarterly in print as well as online. We market with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, authors, and anybody doing something positive in the community. We are so excited and we want you to stay connected. This is our quarterly month that we have in March. So our magazine is available at divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscription. A lot of entrepreneurs, gospel artists in this magazine, information and resources. So make sure you get a copy. The next Divine Connection news is I am looking for vendors. There is a vendor opportunity for my event that's going to be September 11th if nothing happens. I already have paparazzi, so if you have paparazzi, sorry, that spot's already taken. But if you have anything else and you're interested in being a vendor, I network and have a worship event once a year. It's called Divine Connections. This will be the 11th magazine anniversary. So I'll have choirs, praise dance, mimes, and vendors, and we'll network and worship together. So if you're interested in being a vendor, please make sure you send me some information and let me know that you're interested, and I will give you details. The next Divine Connection news is we have 30 seconds to 60-second spots. Not spots, we do have spots, but if you need a 30-second or a 60-second commercial for your business, for your book, for your church, for your ministry, that is one of our services, and we would love to serve you to help get the word out there and create you a 30-second or a 60-second commercial for your business. You can get details with Divine Connections Magazine at gmail.com. Now back to the sponsorship. As I go through my interviews there every Wednesday from 3 to 6, we are looking for sponsors. So we do 30-second slots, and it's a 3-month agreement. So if you're interested, wanting to advertise and expose your business even more, while we're on, make sure you stay connected. We would love to connect with you. Our next business on the agenda is the Mother's Day campaign. Okay, so we are looking to honor 100 mothers. So if you have the best mom ever and she is your Divine Connection would like to offer a special packet that we're doing, that we're just going to show and send her some love and recognition and tell her thank you for being an awesome mother. And that small campaign is only $50. So if you would like to honor your mom, she's the best mom ever, please connect. You can go to bit.ly Mom My Divine Connections, or simply inbox me for more information. Our next business on the agenda is I'm looking also for 100 sponsors. If you have a business with Mother's Day gifts or items that a mother would love, make sure you connect with me. For only $25, you can be a sponsor. You can be in the directory for the whole quarter, as well as we will ask you to send out one of your gifts to one of the mothers on the list. So you'll get advertised, marketing, and be a blessing to a mother. So if you're interested in it, and it's only $25, if you would go to bit.ly/Mother's Day sponsor, or email me or inbox me. Awesome. And also, if you don't mind, I am nominated for Divine Connections Magazine of the Year, or for Magazine of the Year. And they are voting right now, and it will end this month. So go ahead, if you don't mind, go to www.smgospelawards.com. You have to click someone in every category in order for the vote to count. And when you get down to Magazine of the Year, click on Divine Connections. I will greatly, greatly appreciate it. And you can stay connected with us through our social media platforms, Divine Connections Marketing, our Instagram at Divine Connections, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Divine Connections. All right, so the news is out the way. You can just contact whatever you're interested in and let me know. We look forward to that. And today we have an awesome, awesome guest. And first, I'm going to actually play a commercial of this young lady and her business. So stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the fabulous world of Dream Builders Realty, where we are fulfilling dreams and lifestyle. My name is Trish Adams and I'm the owner operator, and I have a fabulous team here to help you with your real estate needs. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, we're here to help you. If you need questions on down payment systems, if you have credit that's not so great but you need some help with that, we're here. We are your go-to people. So please feel free to reach out and we can help you with any of those needs. You can contact any of our fabulous agents at 336-770-2712. Dream Builders!
Awesome, awesome. And with no further ado, the owner of Dream Builders Reality, Miss Trish Adams. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Tell the audience a little who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Trish Adams. I am the owner operator of Dream Builders Realty. We're located here in Greensboro, North Carolina, in the Piedmont Triad area. So I'm originally from Lexington, North Carolina, the barbecue capital, but I've been here long enough. I've been here transplanted long enough. And so we are here. We are fulfilling dreams and lifestyles, as the commercial said, and we are able to help you with all of your real estate needs as far as buying, selling, or investing in real estate.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go into just a little bit of detail. As a realtor, what exactly can you do? And then we'll bounce off questions from there.
Okay. So, buying, selling, investing, if you have a real estate need or concern, that's where we come in. We work a lot with first time home buyers that have questions about credit or down payment assistance and really just don't even know where to start. So we go from the new person to all the way up to a more seasoned buyer. Those that may be looking to upsize or even downsize, someone that maybe want to increase their portfolio as far as their different homes they have. Some people have a primary home and then a vacation home as well. We also help investors being those that have multiple properties. Maybe they are the ones that flip homes or they have their own rental properties that they are renting out. So we help the gamut of people as where it comes to again your real estate needs.
Awesome, awesome. So if somebody was interested in just finding out what the requirements are to buy their first home, do you do workshops? And then what will be the next step? Or what are some maybe credentials that they need to work on before they step into wanting to buy a house so they can be prepared when the moment's there?
Great question. So oftentimes I have people come to me and they say, well, hey, Trish, I want to buy a house and I just don't know where to get started. And that's where we love them. We want to make you're a clean slate for us, essentially. We can sit down with you and see exactly where you are and where you need to be to get to the process. Some people don't know where to start. They don't know who they want to use for their finance if they are getting a mortgage. They don't know what even their credit may look like. So we may need to start there. So they may need down payment assistance. If someone is telling me that they don't know what their credit looks like, we can encourage them to pull it themselves. That way, no, a lender's not pulling in and having a hard hit on their credit. So if they pull it themselves, there are different websites that you can can use. Some people don't realize that right now during the pandemic, if you go on annualcreditreport.com, it's not just an annual report right now. They can pull it weekly and they can see if things are reporting on time or if things are erroneous. They can then see exactly what their credit model looks like. And we know that knowledge is power, right? So, when we perish for a lack thereof, so we need to be making sure that we are educating ourselves to see what exactly that looks like. So let's say that you are credit ready. You're paying bills on time, you don't have anything in collections, and you're ready to talk to a lender. Some people have no idea who they want to use for their finance. And so then again, that's where I come in. I can make suggestions about what lender may be a good fit for you, depending on what you tell me. Some people may have a certain amount of money that they can put down. Some people may have credit challenges, but I'm always going to at least refer you to 3 people. That way you can make sure that you talk to a variety and see who's going to be the best fit for you. Not all lenders are created equally, so we want to make sure that you partner with the best person that is going to help you get the job done. So as you talk to your lender and you see, okay, well, who can do what, it may be in need of down payment assistance. So that's something else that I do in my initial consult with you. I'm talking to you to see what it is that you want, what you like, and what you need, because my job is to know better than you do. So if I am talking to you and you say you have a certain need as far as your housing is concerned, I need to be able to see that house through your eyes, but I also put my realtor eyes on too to make sure it's going to be a good fit for you. So it's just part of that initial consult that we sit down, we have a conversation, we get to know each other, and again make sure that we're going to be a good fit for each other. And then that way I can refer you to the proper avenues as far as your lender is concerned. It may be a case where you're not credit ready, so I may refer you to some HUD certified housing counselors that can help you with budget, sit down with you and look at your credit and get you on a game plan to get you credit ready. So it just depends on the individual, but we do that with an initial consult.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So share with us, do you have any first-time homebuyers classes available?
We do them pretty regularly. So I'm able to partner with different organizations. And it just depends on what city you're in. So if you're in Greensboro, I can refer you to Housing Consultants Group or Housing Foundation of America. I have partners in City of High Point. I have partners in Lexington, where I'm from, with the Lexington Community Development Corporation. Then Winston-Salem has an organization. But all these different partnerships that I have, they all do classes. They do 8-hour home buyer education classes. And then they have a piece where the realtor speaks. I just did one last weekend with Housing Consultants Group. So I come in as the realtor, talk about my roles and responsibility, set the expectations of what you need to do as far as any upfront monies that you may need, what you can expect during the process, things of that nature. Then I also conduct my own home buyer seminars. Last Thursday, I did a go live on Facebook with a lender where we talked about the process. He was able to answer any financing questions that people have, because most people have financing questions because, of course, credit is the elephant in the room. And we just did that live and in real time. So we try to do that virtually, and of course, now in this COVID environment. So we're doing those at least once a month. And then we do them as needed. If somebody has a civic organization or a group they want me to speak at, then we come in and we talk to you about your process. So we try to meet everybody where they are and make sure that we're available to get them the information that they need.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what are maybe some basic questions that people may have asked that's kind of been consistent that people want to know? Like, for one, what would your credit score need to be like in order when we first start looking and buy a home, to get the best, deal?
Well, that's definitely the number one question. What does my credit score need to look like? And I tell them, if you're getting some type of down payment assistance, you want to have at least a 640. Yes, you can get a loan with less than 640, but that loan will be nitpicked. So anything above 640 is better. And of course, the higher your score, then the more likely you are to get approved, because you're considered to be less than the rest.
Right.
Lenders base your ability to repay them on your credit score. And I tell people it's just a game on paper. It shows that
Mhm.
you can borrow money and pay it back. And the way that they assess that is by your credit score. So they're looking to see how valuable are you a candidate to give them their money back. If they've loaned you $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, they want to make sure that you're going to return their money. So they do that by pulling your credit score. So it's just that simple. Another major question that people always have is, what upfront monies do I need?
Right.
What type of initial investment do I need to make? Yes, you're getting down payment assistance that will help you with, of course, down payment and also your closing costs. But there is an initial investment that you need to make up front.
Mhm.
So when you talk about down payment, it's typically 3 or 3.5% of the purchase price. So just for sake of the round numbers, if it's $100,000 house, then you're putting down $3,500. And you need to budget about the same for closing costs, but that's just down payment and closing costs. But
Mhm.
that's due at closing. But money that you need up front, that's when we find the perfect house, we go under contract, and we want to make sure that you're able to secure that home. Then you have things like your due diligence fee and your earnest money deposit. And the way I explain that is that if you go to Walmart, you put something on layaway and you put whole money, put money down, that's the way that the due diligence fee and the earnest money deposit is to the house. You're showing the seller that you're serious about purchasing the home. So you put this whole money, you put this money down. Now, there's no set amount that that money has to be, but no seller's going to take that house out the market without it. Even though it's not required, it's always recommended. And I would say you need to budget at least probably $3,000 for that. Now, other questions that they also ask are, what other upfront monies? And you'll want to have inspections done. Inspections are like when we go to the doctor and we get a checkup and they're checking everything, they're drawing our blood. That's what a home inspection is to a house. It's checking everything from the roof to the crawl space to see if it's functioning as intended. You want to see, are there any leaks in the plumbing? Is the HVAC system working? Does the water heater get the water hot? We want to be able to see that the house is going to be a good investment for you and not a money pit. And if it is, with some things that come back on the home inspection, we can ask the seller to remedy it with repair to fix those items. It's always a great idea to have a home inspection done. Again, it's something that's not required, but it is recommended because you want to know that your investment is going to be a sound investment. So that, and a home inspection can run you about $425. It's definitely a must needed or a must recommended thing that you should do up front. Another inspection that we recommend is a pest inspection. Most specifically, pests in the form of termites can be found in homes. In North Carolina, we have subterranean termites. They're present in every county, so it can be found anywhere within homes within North Carolina. Now, if a house comes back with termites, it can be fixed. It can also be remedied. So it's no need to fret. But that's something that you would want to know going in. That can run you about $75. Another inspection I recommend is a radon inspection. It's an odorless, tasteless, sightless gas that can kill you, unfortunately. And it's present also in every county in our state. But most specifically, we see homes that have basements come back with higher elevated levels of radon because radon comes from rocks in the ground. And of course, the basement's underground. So I would definitely recommend that. Every home that I've had that had a basement came back with higher levels of radon. That test can run you about 130. Then lastly, of course, you definitely will have to have an appraisal done because the bank wants to know that the money they're lending you, the house is worth that amount. And the way that they do that is by an appraisal. That can run you about 550. So, between the different inspections that I mentioned and the earnest money and the due diligence fee, I would suggest you have at the bare minimum $4,000, $4,500 up front. Now that can be credited to that down payment that down payment that we talked about earlier that you'll need at closing. But this is an initial investment that you need to make in yourself when you're going to purchase a home.
Awesome, awesome. And so once a person gets or before they get home, and they kind of decide if they want to do a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage, tell us a little bit about that and how that works.
Okay, and that's a very good question. It's definitely something that I try to educate my clients on because typically most people get a 30-year mortgage. And we know that if it takes you 30 years to pay off that mortgage, you would essentially probably bought two or three houses based on all the interest that would have accumulated. So if you make just one extra payment a year, one extra one. So if your mortgage is $1,200, if you divide that by 12 and get $100, if you pay an extra $100 a month onto the principal, that's the same as making one extra payment a year. If you can make just one extra payment a year, you will knock off 7 to 10 years off the life of your loan. It's
Wow.
that easy. So,
Wow.
and then you have to look at, okay, if you're doing a 30-year fix, what would it look like for you to do a 20-year fix? Maybe you're paying an extra 150 on top of your mortgage amount, but if you can knock off 10 years and do that on the front end, that's great. Or maybe even that extra $200 will take you from that 30-year mortgage to a 15-year mortgage. It's always in your best interest to explore those avenues and see if that difference in that monthly payment will feel comfortable for you, number one. Because if it does and you can swing it, then you're knocking off all of that interest. You're paying off your house sooner. You have a collateral investment that you've now paid yourself that's now mortgage free. It only makes sense.
Right. Now, what if you've had your house for about 10 years and you hadn't done that, but you still want to try to get the house paid off? Is it too late after maybe the 10 years or however many years you've been there to start making payments on that house or extra payments, rather?
You can still make extra payments, and I would advise that you just contact your lender and ask them for an amortization schedule showing what your new payments will be because they're the money people, of course, and they can show you exactly what that new payment, even if you're 10 years in already, how that's going to look and how that's going to reflect.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me think. Anything else you want to share while I'm thinking about the next question that we've missed? Anything?
Mm,
How do people with your team? I know now that you have a team, you are
yeah,
growing.
yes.
Awesome. Maybe somebody wants to be a realtor or learn about to be a realtor or maybe be on your team. How does
Okay.
that?
So, in addition to being the owner, I'm the broker in charge. I'm also a real estate instructor. So, I teach pre-licensing classes. That means that those that have an interest in becoming a realtor, they must first start with a pre-licensing class, which is about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, just depends on how many days a week that you attend. And I teach those classes. So in that class, I'm teaching you everything about the from the beginning. What does land mean? What is real property? Just so you'll know basically how to get started. We learned that in class. From that pre-licensing class, you sit for the classroom exam. Then from the classroom exam, you go on to take a state exam. After you pass your state exam, then you are a licensee. What we call you can be a real estate agent. Then from there you can hang your license with a firm, and then you can become a realtor. But I think everybody has the bug so much right now. That we all watch HGTV, no matter who we are, and it's exciting. It's very exciting to see, how you can give back to your community. Number one, because it's not always glam and glitz. It's about giving back to your community you know deals are more rewarded not just because they're your biggest deals or you made the most money, but when you can help somebody achieve that goal of home ownership. So, and I
Mhm.
see a lot of people feel that way. They want to be also able to give back, and you can do that by helping others by becoming a realtor. So those that have an interest in that, again, I teach the pre-licensing classes. I teach at Elliott Real Estate Academy. It's very convenient right now because it's all via Zoom. And you can take the class really anywhere in the state. I've had students from the coast to Charlotte to wherever because we're via Zoom right now. It's so convenient. We have day classes, we have night classes, we have weekend classes. So there is a variety of classes that kind of fit you and your work schedule or your life schedule to meet you where you are to make sure that you're getting what you need if you have an interest in becoming a real estate agent.
Awesome, awesome. And if you have a house and bought your first house, and maybe you're thinking about either buying a second house, whether it's for yourself or to flip it or rent it out, what are your suggestions?
So you have a house. And this was a question that was asked last Thursday. Can you have more than one mortgage? And the answer is yes. As long as your income can support more than one mortgage, you can have more than one mortgage. Some people can afford to have two houses, three houses based on just their own work income. Some are able to do so by being able to have income properties. So when you have these income properties, that rent is income. So
Mhm.
depending on the difference between if you have a mortgage on it and then the amount you're getting in rent, that difference is income. So, people have their interest in flipping houses, and we help with that too, as far
Okay.
as investors are concerned. So, we're able to help you find, something that can be that diamond in the rough at a low price. That in
Mhm.
the event that you go in there and you do X amount of work, then you can flip it. Some people just want to be able to maybe fix it up and hold it and add it to their rental portfolio. So, when it comes to real estate, it's definitely an investment because you're building a legacy. And it only makes sense to pay yourself. Rent is going up.
Mhm.
I hear the astronomical amounts that people are paying in rent is ridiculous. I think here in Greensboro, a two-bedroom easily goes for $1,000,
Mhm.
and your mortgage doesn't have to be $1,000. Rates right now are at historic lows. I mean, they're creeping up a little bit, but we're still low threes. Not from what I've seen when I first started selling real estate when it was in the sixes. So,
Mhm.
it only makes sense to buy a home right now while rates are really, really low. And lenders are partnering with the down payment assistance programs to be able to make sure that they can help you with the down payment assistance as well as fund your loan for you.
Awesome. So, do you have information if a person is a veteran and the benefits they may have with owning a home, buying a home? Some information with that.
Yes, and I love my veterans. They've given back to us as far as serving our country. So what better way to give back to them than by serving them? So the great thing about VA loans, the awesome thing about VA loans is that they're 100% financing. So that means they don't have to put any money down. It's 100%, and that is so awesome and amazing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
another great thing about them is that they don't have mortgage insurance. So, mortgage insurance is kind of a built in fee that comes into your mortgage payment. But the way the mortgage insurance works is that it protects the lender, it does not protect you. So, in the
Mm.
event that you were to default on your loan, then they have some type of coverage on them. When you get a VA loan, you don't have that. So, no mortgage insurance means a cheaper payment. So, if ever you're able to get a loan, not just a VA loan, but any loan that doesn't have mortgage insurance, then your payment is cheaper because, like I said, it's built into the payment. So, those are two great things about VA loans. If you're a veteran and you want to get your VA loan, then I always recommend that you go to va.org and you get your eligibility certificate. That way you can see how much you qualify for. I've had veterans that purchase more than one home with their VA eligibility certificate because they may have been living in one place where they were had a duty station, and then they were started renting that place out and got moved somewhere else, and they were able to use their VA eligibility certificate to purchase another home. So it's just a great program, and I recommend any veteran to definitely cash in on it.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what if someone is just looking to maybe purchase some land to build a house on? What would they look out for?
And they would definitely, or you should always use a realtor, always. But definitely when you're purchasing land, because there are things that you don't know to look for.
Right.
How are the utilities running? Are the utilities running? What is it zoned for? It could not even be a commercial piece of land a residential piece of land. It could be commercial. So houses on, is it commercial? Is it residential? Is it agricultural? What does that look like? If it is residential, will it perk? They call them soil solubility tests now, but we most commonly know them as perk tests. Does it perk? Will it be able to sustain a house? And if it can sustain a house, how many bedrooms can that house sustain? If it's in a subdivision, what do those covenants and restrictions look like? Does a certain size house have to be on it? Does does it have to have certain aesthetics? Does it have to have certain setbacks? Can it be a 1-story or 2-story? Does it have to be at least a certain value? So these are all things that the layperson probably wouldn't even realize. So that's why you need to have an agent advocating on your behalf. And the best thing about having a real estate agent, if you're the buyer, is that you don't pay us. Typically in 9.5 cases out of 10, the seller is paying my commission. So it only makes sense for you to have somebody who's working hard for you, again, advocating on your behalf, that you don't even pay. It only makes sense. I tell people, think of it like this. Can you have a baby without a doctor? And they say, well, no. I said, well, yes, you can. You don't need a doctor to have a baby, but the doctor is there to tell you when to breathe and when to push and help you work through those contractions, right? Mm-hmm. So think of me as your house doctor. Now, you don't have to have a realtor to buy a house, but you should want to, because, again, I'm the one that's going to tell you when to breathe and when to push and how to work on those contractions, because sometimes buying a house can feel like you're in labor. As long as you're a homeowner, it can be a little harrowing at times when you're looking, and right now we're in a seller's market. So again, you definitely want to have an agent right now, because I'm there to teach you how do we structure your offer? How do we make you seem most competitive? Because houses going above list price, there are multiple offers on properties, and that is not something you want to go it alone. If you're going in there and you're just trying to bid the basic, or don't know how much earnest money or due diligence you should offer, again, that's where I come in to make sure that you're advised on those things, so that you can be a good candidate for that particular house. Now, I don't tell you what to do. You are the boss. You have hired me for a service. My job is just to advise. I'm going to show you what it should look like, but at the end of the day, you make the decisions.
Awesome. Do you have connections with builders if somebody wanted to build a house?
Yes, I do. And again, that's part of my job. I need to know what builder is doing what, who, what, where, and how, and what side of town. So I make sure that I have real builder partners. At any builder, that's around here, I can tell you my contact there, because depending on the features that you're looking for, or the price point you want to stay at, or the side of town you need to live on, I need to know what builder is in that area, what builder fits that criteria. So I reached out and I have relationships with them, sold houses with all of them, to make sure that you are getting all the information and be educated about the process, so we can see if building is right for you. And sometimes it's a personal preference. Some people like older homes or more established homes, and some people want something that's brand new. So again, in our consult, we sit down and we talk about these things, and then we figure out what's going to be the best avenue for you.
Awesome. And I remember being in one of your classes a while back. You were talking about if someone gets married, and then if someone gets divorced. Touch on that a little bit, like if you have a house and you decide to get married, or and then say like y'all been together, or somebody gets divorced, and then what happens with that? Can you give a little insight with that?
Yeah, and we actually talked about this in class today. So North Carolina is a little bit different than other states. We say here it takes 1 to buy but 2 to sell. So what that means is that we're a marital state. So North Carolina looks at you as one person when you're married, right? You're just one person. It doesn't matter. So even if you bought a house as a single person, the day that you got married, you're now one person. So they actually own a marital interest in your property.
What if
So
even if you don't put their name on the deed?
even if
Mm.
it just automatically assumed that they have just absorbed their marital interest. So with that one to buy, two to sell, it took one person to buy it, but it takes two to sell it if they want to sell it. It takes two to refinance, and if they ever want to refinance it, so that's how we're a little bit differently. Now, if Lord forbid one of you get divorced, one of you get well, you both will get divorced, but if you get divorced, then what you would need to do is to make sure that the one that is not keeping the home has signed what we call a quitclaim deed. That quitclaim deed is giving their ownership interest back to the one person. Because you're recognized as one person, you own it 100 and 100%. So if you leave, you took your part with you. You want to be able to give it back to the person. It's just we're all inclusive when it comes to being married. So you want to make sure that you're covered and have the proper understanding about how we work being this marital state. So again, we're a little bit different. I know states like Florida, whoever bought the house or whoever's name is on the mortgage, that's who owns the house. Not in North Carolina. Even if you're married, let's say I wasn't married when I bought my house and I wasn't. If I get married and I want to sell my house, my husband now has to sign off on the sale of my house because of the way North Carolina works.
Wow. Now, what if a person gets a prenup before they get married?
Then that's different. Then what's theirs is theirs. Yep. And I've even had a case where a client was going through a separation and they left. They wanted to buy the house outside of their spouse so they could just sign what's called a free trade agreement, which means that the spouse was relinquishing their marital interest into the house on the front end. So it's kind of like a quick claim deed, but on the front side.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What area do you cover for real estate?
So I'm a North Carolina realtor, which means I can technically sell anywhere in North Carolina. So I've sold houses in Charlotte and in Sanford. Most feasibly, though, we work here in the 336, the Piedmont Tri area. So anywhere in the 336, that's basically where we are. Now we're looking to expand our footprint. I think we're going to move to Raleigh in the next couple of months. And we've also talked about Charlotte, but definitely Raleigh at this point in the next few months.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Always making strive and advancing. I love it. I love it. When I first met her, she didn't have a team. Now she has the business, she has a team, and she's expanding. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Keep making it happen. And I put down her contact information if you would like to contact Miss Patricia Adams with a dream. Tell me again. Dream Reality.
Realty. Yes.
Dream Builders Realty. That's it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anything else you want to share right before we leave and leave us with a word of encouragement?
I just always want people to know that if this is a goal of yours, you can do it. You don't have to keep paying rent. I tell people I grew up in the projects in Lexington, where I'm from, and I went from the projects to the dorm to an apartment. And in our community, we didn't talk about home ownership. We didn't talk about credit. So I didn't know. So if this is a goal of yours, you can do it. You can get started. And you just have to know the people to talk to help you with the resources to get there. Well, guess what? I'm the people. I am the reason. I put you in touch with the people with those resources to make sure that you get what you need, because rent is going up. It's not going to change. Your mortgage will be the same. And you need to pay yourself. Studies show that children that are raised in homes that their parents are buying are grounded. They see their parents are hustling to pay that mortgage, and it makes a difference. It's just a different mentality. It's just a different feeling when you know that you're buying it versus just renting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Leave us. We have your contact information. How else do people? I know you're on social media as well, correct?
Yes.
What's your social media links?
So on Instagram, I am Trish Sells Houses all together. On Facebook, the easiest way to find me is Trish Sells Houses Adams, Adams. Easiest way to find me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Anything else you want to share before we leave?
No, I just always want to thank you for giving me the opportunity on your platform to speak to the people. I appreciate everything that you're doing to keep the community informed, and I'm thankful to be a part of it today.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely the divine connection. And I promise you, if you get with her, she is a wealth of information. Whatever questions you have, she can answer. She's been in this business for a long time. Not only that, she has a passion for what she does, and she wants to see you own a home or multiple homes, or build a home. So make sure you guys stay connected. Stay connected. This is Miss Trish Adams, and her information is at the bottom. So thank you so much for being a guest today. And we look forward to talking with you soon.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hold tight. This is Dolores with Divine Connections Magazine. Make sure you stay connected to the number one Divine Connector. Now we'll hear from our sponsors.
Do you need a radiant style? Come and see Delphine at Radiant African Hair Braiding Shop at 410 Four Seasons Boulevard at Four Seasons Mall on the second floor in Greensboro, North Carolina. We design creative styles of braiding, crochet, sew-ins, wedding styles, and so much more. Appointments and walk-ins are welcome. We also have a salon booth for rent. We are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Contact Delphine today, 336-210-3102.
Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.